Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I discovered a new site to the south of Phrixi Rupes, a region of Mars we're becoming quite familiar with right now. The high-rise photograph we're looking at here is called Degraded Crater Rim and Dunes, and I'll include the link to this page in the video description. And the JP2 black and white map projected file I used is 929 megabytes in size. Well worth the download though. There's a look at the surrounding terrain. This is from the low-res black and white JPEG, and we're checking out these white anomalies scattered about throughout this region. There's also a weird dune field over here to the right. The site we're looking at is located right there, folks, to the south of Phrixi Rupes, a region of Mars I've visited quite a bit in the recent past. And at the time of this video, the JP2 we're analyzing here had not been loaded to Google Earth Mars yet. This site is located 46 degrees 51 minutes south, 68 degrees 14 minutes west. The first anomaly we're looking at is massive, folks. That there's about 20 meters across, and the small part in the center is about 5 meters in diameter. And we can see the looks like a cube that's sitting there right in the center of this circular object, which consists of two parts separated there by this bevel or ridge. Looks like this one over here is slightly more elevated than the disk to the right. Check it, the straight line comes off at an angle over here and continues in another straight line. So two separate pieces potentially, and right here to the bottom left we've got an area that looks as if it's been carved into this larger piece. You can see it's got straight edges and right angles there as well, and it's aligned parallel to this rectangular object on the top. So there's similar examples, just a few of these that I've also discovered on Mars. This one over here is a little bit smaller. I think that there's about 18 meters across, but the square object there in its center is about the same size as this one. And this is from comparable architectural designs in Proctor Dune Field, and that is on the opposite side of the planet, also in the southern mid-latitudes. And this object over here, also very similar to these, has a dome-like part in its center, and it's also from the same JP2 as this one over here to the top right. And there's a matching object that is found here on Earth in Nabta Playa, Egypt. Check that out, folks. 3 parts, 2 larger pieces with a small part in the center. Right, then we're looking at this disc-shaped object there. It seems to be propped up against that block, and that disc there is about 10 meters in diameter, and on top of it we've got that smaller feature right there in its center, folks, slightly elevated here off the surface against this block. And as always, the top left is covered in sand and dust. And we're looking at this rectangular structure-like object there, about 5 by 10 to 12 meters in length. Check out this one over here too, folks. We've got a block over there on that rectangular piece there. But let's check this out close up. You can see it's got straight sides, right angles, and on top of it we've got parallel bevels or slots cut into it. rather strange. And then this dark part over here, it looks almost as if it could be an opening or a hole in that larger piece. We're looking at another, what I think is a toppled structure. We've got two very long narrow blocks there. Don't know if that one there is one as well. But this piece over here is about 3 meters across, and it's about 14 to 15 meters long. You can see it lying there on its side. Here's another one perpendicular to it over here to the bottom right. And you can see it's got smooth, flat surfaces, right angles, and it seems to have some type of protrusion over here on the side, same as this one over here. It's also got like a circular pattern to it. Looks like those might have been standing up straight and they toppled over, who knows. There's another one very similar to some others we'll have a look at, and that piece there's about 2 to 3 meters across and about the same length as the previous one. So check this out. We've also got a very smooth, bright surface, right angles over here, and it also looks as if it's a long, narrow obelisk-type object that toppled over. So there's another one. These are some other examples I can show you. This is from part 2, obelisks, megaliths and discs, spotted east of Azimov. And then we've got these strange triangular parts there. This one's also quite huge. Part 1, obelisks, megaliths and discs spotted east of Azimov. So those there, those two are from the same JP2, the same site. Then this one over here also has a smooth flat surface there, also very bright and reflective. Another smooth surface over here. Then it's got like a pyramid type shape to it at the top, coming up to an apex there. And this is from part 3, the Sidonian Neolithic artists and builders of Mars. Check out the block over here. I hope I'm not blocking it with my picture-in-picture, but there's another block with a knob on it. So there's some more examples. This is from part 2, the discs and ruins of Pyramus Fossae, and this one over here, part 2, the Sidonian Neolithic artists and builders of Mars. And next to it seems to be an artifact that looks very much like an ankh. Got the cross over here and the circular part over there to the top. Ancient Egyptian links, maybe? Is that what we're looking at here, guys and girls? Then we're looking at this huge object over here. It's about 20 meters long and about 12 meters wide. And it's got this round edge to it, similar to this piece next to it, and that one there to the right. So I wonder if these three parts didn't fit together and they shifted apart. Check out that triangle. That's about 3 by 3 by 3 meters in size. We can see the geometry going on here. Here we're looking at a triangular part on top of this larger piece, which measures about 12 by 12 meters in size, and the triangle is also about 3 by 3 by 3 meters in size. And that side there parallel to this one, that side there is parallel to that side. And we've got close to a 90-degree angle over there. Angle over here is very similar to this one, so more geometry and symmetry in that design. We're looking at this. got a very bright, smooth item over there in the center, which is about 14 meters across, and on top of it we've got like a plectrum shaped object. Looks like a small dome, and that there's about 5 meters in diameter. Check out the right angle here, folks. Over here, another disc-shaped object about 5 meters in diameter, and it's on top of that larger piece. It seems to have broken off over here. And here to the left we've got more right angled pieces, but this too has got like a plectrum shape to it, like a pumpkin seed shape. Also a very, very common shape on Mars. There's another blocky slab type item lying there, which is about 12 by 12 meters in size, and it's got a smaller part there close to its center, casting that shadow. Also straight sides parallel to each other, and a right angle there, and also over here, and partially covered blocks over there to the top right. Here we're going to check out that half a disc shaped object there, this over here to the left, and that smaller rectangular piece there to the top right. The first anomaly right there has multiple sides to it, almost like a partial hexagon shaped object. Again, we've seen lots of those on Mars, and that whole piece there is about 12 to 14 meters across. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to it, and this piece here seems to be buried, or maybe it broke off. And there's a piece over there that also seems to fit into this one, and bridging that gap we've got that smaller oval object there, and on top of this larger piece we've got that knob there. Very interesting design as well. We're looking at this disc-shaped object. Part of it's broken off, and in its center we've got a knob protrusion, and that there is about 12 to 14 meters in diameter. Check that out, guys. Also seen so many of these on Mars as well. We're looking at some blocks over there. This one in particular is about 8 by 5 meters in size. Straight edges, right angles, parallel sides. Same on this one. And on this block we have a knob. Very similar to those that we find in the ruins at South America. There's 2 more blocks next to one another, and that there's about 14 by 14 meters in size, and we can see consists of 2 parts. It has a smaller part that bridges that gap, and almost parallel to it we've got that very narrow piece there. Looks almost like that could be an opening with that smaller part sticking out of it. So over here we've got a spherical object. Here we got 2 more blocks, and we're looking at a length of about 20 meters over there, and a width of about 8 meters. 2 blocks next to one another, and a smaller artifact on the top bridging that gap. So there they are, side by side for you to compare. Very similar sort of design ideas behind those 2 objects. Here we're looking at another blocky item That there's about 10 by 12 meters in size. It's got two straight sides to it, a right angle there, and on top of it a long narrow piece arranged parallel to this one side. We've got some alignment of smaller objects on top of this, and that whole piece there is about 10 by 12 meters in size. On top of this piece we've got three smaller objects aligned next to one another, and the gap between them is similar. Small triangle there pointing up towards us, and then another part here to the bottom left. Look at the two right angled pieces sticking off over there, guys. The parallel sides there in that. Down to the southern mid-latitudes, to Phrixi Rupes, where we've got this site we just analyzed, and there's a brief look at the artifacts I discovered there. And just briefly, let's have a look at some of the other surrounding terrain and some of the objects I discovered there. I featured these quite recently, so I won't go into too much depth over here. Check out the triangle there. Right, I just want to show you guys the other similar artifacts in Proctor. It's on the opposite side of the planet, also in the southern mid-latitudes. So let's see, can we find it here? So this is Proctor. Yes, there they are, guys and girls. And this site is located 47 degrees, 13 minutes south, 31 degrees, 6 minutes east. That's it for this one, folks. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it to be informative and interesting. Do stay tuned for the next one. I'll be seeing you soon. Bye-bye for now.